Yo, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the show about nothing. Football training camp edition.
Yeah, football is back, baby.
Back in effect. This year we get a full year NFL because we didn't get full year of college and NFL. We got the tail end of football, all the XFL.
Bro, like when we started at like towards the middle end of the NFL season.
Yep, sure did.
Bro, and like
good too. It was a good time.
It was a good time. A very good time.
So, man, what's been up, bro? Like, what you been on, man? What's been going on with you, bro?
I would like to make an announcement here.
He's like, okay.
Breaking news.
Breaking news.
Breaking news on the Show About Nothing podcast.
All right.
IG-Izzyphantasmo, aka the Puerto Rican Poppy. As you can see it in my header.
This dude here.
IG-Izzyphantasmo, aka the Puerto Rican Poppy, have officially retired from beer drinking.
Oh, he officially retired from the beer drinking game?
I'm officially retired.
What? Why you say? Why you say?
Because bad beer makes a bad stomach.
Hey man, look.
Your boy nearly he nearly kicked the bucket.
Damn.
Not physically, not literally, but your boy
was like, damn, I don't know what to do right now. Like, my good health.
Yes, your boy had some hibachi, and he had a ice house, and that was the rest of that story.
Hey, my man,
it was not good for the next few days.
My man was out of commission.
Oh boy, the pain that I felt, I do not wish that on anybody. So with that being said, until further notice, I am officially retired from any type of beer drinking and whatnot. Like I was downing water and ginger ale and toast and bananas to make sure my stomach was right. It was just only yesterday that I started.
Looking at this beer called Ice House, if this is what you drink, like this look kind of like make your stomach hurt. That look like it's something to make your stomach hurt.
Here's the thing. I didn't pick that one. That was not me.
Who was the picker?
I think it was Big Man that got that
Big,
one.
See, Big Man, see what you did? See, when I suggest a cold brewski, it's always touche. I never fail with the beer choices. But the one day the big dog pick a beverage, my man goes down in the fourth quarter goes down in the third quarter like his rival Lamar Jackson. He goes down, runs to the bag, goes to the bathroom, lets it out, and comes back and win the game to victory. He was down. My man was down. He was hurt.
I was hurt. It was I'm gonna tell you this much. I've had that before.
Right.
But it's been like 11 years since I've had that experience. It's a pain that I do not ever wish on anybody.
Bro, who you telling like, bro, when you get that sick, like you don't, like you be like, yo, you be looking at the sky like, God, I don't know what I did wrong, but I'm sorry.
Dude, I was praying to God. I was like, Lord, like after like a day, I was like, Lord, I just want my stomach to be better. Please. I don't want to deal with this no more.
This ain't right. I don't know what I did, but I'm sorry.
Exactly. Oh, speaking of, while I was down for the count, I actually found out something that I bet you don't even know.
What you find out that I didn't know?
Okay, so you're a fellow anime head.
Yeah.
Okay, so what animes have you been watching as of late?
I ain't watching nothing lately. I've been I gotta get on the Demon Slayer tip. Shout out to the Is for the Crunchyroll plug. I gotta watch that, but like I ain't really been on nothing really like.
So the reason I ask, there was an anime that I've been watching. I've watched the first season. I watched the movie. It's an anime called Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, I seen that. That's a good one, dude. With the finger. Oh, shout out to my man, Mike Fallon, for putting me on that. At the start of the Pandeezy, he put me on that. He said, yo, watch that. All right. Like I always say, my boy might tell you to do something, you pretty much gonna have to do it because my man's serious business. Like, yo, so let me check this show out. And let me tell you, that show was amazing.
Okay. So I've seen the first, like I saw the first season. I watched the movie. I found out something.
What you find out?
A random video on YouTube pops up talking about one of the characters by the name of Gojo, right?
Right?
The guy with the blindfold, but when he takes it off, it's the like the sky blue eyes.
Yeah, that dude.
Okay. Did you know that Gojo is actually based off of Buddha?
Who?
Buddha.
Like the Buddha.
Like the fat man that you rub the belly and wish for prosperity and all that.
Yeah.
Jujutsu Kaisen is actually based off of Buddhism.
Really?
Yes. I was watching a video about why Gojo is like the scariest jujitsu sorcerer, and the person that made the video, he referenced a story about Buddha when he was born, how he took 7 steps, pointed to the sky, pointed to the ground, and said that as the heavens above and the earth below, I'm the only one that shall be honored. And he shows a manga strip where Gojo says that exact same line. And then he goes on to explain that the creator of Jujutsu Kaisen basically based the entire thing of Jujutsu Kaisen off of Buddhism.
Oh shoot, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So when I heard that, I was like, really? Did a little research, come to find out, oh wow, this is new. And like, don't get me wrong, I love the anime, like the character arc and the progression, like the comedic moments in the comedic timing is pristine.
Right?
But when I found out that one thing, I was just like, The first time I tried to watch the anime, I felt like something was off, like something just wasn't clicking with me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let it be. But then I gave it another shot, watched it, and I was all for it. But when I heard that thing and I did a little of my own, I was like, you know what, there was a reason why I wasn't feeling it the first time around. And I'm not saying everybody's got their own preference, everybody's got their own thing, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't watch it because of what I'm saying. If that's your anime, that's your anime. You go along with it. But for me, my convictions and a few other things that go along with it, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna lay off of it for a little bit, and I'm just gonna probably watch some other things as well, catch up on some other animes that I haven't caught up on in a while.
Right.
But yeah, like when I heard that, I was like, that's a twist.
Oh yeah, I feel like I don't be doing no deep dives in animes like that. I mean, I don't be doing that much deep dive.
I didn't even intend to do this one. I didn't intend to do a deep dive like that. It just like it was a random video that popped up and it started playing. I was like, okay, let me listen because I do watch the anime. And then when they further explained the character arc and how how his character kind of plays into the whole thing, because if you've watched the anime, he does say he's the strongest jujitsu sorcerer out there. Like he even tells Itadori, he tells Yuji when after Yuji consumes Sukuna's finger the first time around, he tells
his finger. Yes.
He eats the finger. He has Sukuna's curse inside of him, right? Sukuna could switch in and out. Gojo even tells Itadori, Itadori asks him, he's like, so if Sukuna was to get all 20 fingers and go full force between you and him, who'd win? And Gojo's like, well, it would be a tough task, but in the end, I'd win. I'm the strongest one.
Ain't that crazy?
And I was just like, wow, okay.
I was
just like, it's tough. It's a tough anime, and I enjoyed it. and I was getting ready to watch season 2. But after that, I was like, you know what? Let me pump the brakes a little bit.
I got like anime is crazy. All anime is freaking crazy to me. Like, I don't be watching too much stuff. Like I don't really be in these anime streets like that. But other than anime, I got a bunch of music that I'm about to start dropping again. My fall collection is nuts. What I got, my fall collection is nothing but chill vibes stuff. Nothing but chill. You heard a little something.
Oh yeah.
And we talked about it. And I agree. We ain't gonna talk much about the part that you talked about, but yeah, I agree with you on that part. Like I don't really like that how the intro is myself. I'm gonna see if I could get that, either cut that out or fade it or whatever. But other than that, I'm doing a lot of chill fall, like fall-y weather type stuff, like from the stuff
everybody out there better get they pumpkin spice lattes, get their sweaters, their scarves, get your beanies intact.
And it's weather music, bro. It's cuddled up by the fire and listen to type music. Especially the first two tracks I'm dropping. My 2 journal tracks I'm dropping. Oh man, you gonna be crazy, man.
My man right here, he about to drop some. He about to drop some gems. I feel like he about to drop some stuff.
Yeah, I'm just dropping singles, man. I'm not doing no more projects. I'm not gonna do another project for a while. I may do a project, I may not, but like y'all just get singles from me.
Cause
I have a feeling the good Lord above got a plan for these singles. So I'm just gonna
you gonna roll with it.
Yes, I'm like I was thinking I was gonna do that last year anyway, but that plan didn't go the way I wanted it to. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let me do it this year. Got June's World out. June's World 2. You got June's World 2 out. So now I'm like, all right, that was the plan that the June's World 2 drops. It's gonna be just singles, just single. Now I got everything in order.
All right. I dig it. And you know what? I can't wait to hear what you got in store for these singles. I can't wait to see exactly what direction they're going to be in. Again, I've heard it already. I've heard little pieces here and there, but I can't wait to hear the full thing. So
oh yeah, you're gonna hear it soon. It's gonna be done.
Oh yeah, man. I can't wait. Wait.
So what we talking about today, man? What's on the docket? Because you got something that you want to talk about, like you something that you're passionate about.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, whose jersey are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing my boy Jalen Hurts, quarterback.
And Jalen Hurts plays what position?
Man, we're gonna be talking about that. That's what we're talking about. Quarterback.
Oh, he said it. Hurts is not a quarterback. He's a running back that throws.
Yeah, pretty much.
No. I'm not going to disrespect him like that. Jalen Hurts, I think, is coming into his own as a quarterback, and that boy got paid.
Yep.
That boy got extendoed.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who else got extendoed just recently?
Who got extendoed? Talk to me.
The one and only Justin Herbert, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Herbert just yesterday got extended with a blockbuster 5-year, $262.5 million deal.
That's a lot of millions right there.
Yes, sir.
A lot of goddamn millions.
Yes, sir. So why am I bringing up these contract extensions?
Talk to me. Why are you bringing them up? Because there got to be a reason.
Oh, yeah, there is a reason why I'm bringing up these contract extensions. And the reason I'm bringing up the contract extension is because for those of us who watch football, like for those of us who are keen to football, a quarterback, as important of a position for any team to have success and to really thrive and to really push the needle to be a contender.
Mm-hmm.
As much as the quarterback is an important position, there's another position right behind him that is equally as or is more important in my eyes.
I agree.
And that position is the running back room.
Yep.
And this offseason, a lot of people have noticed that the running backs have not gotten their fair share of the pie.
And I feel like, and like I said, running backs get the most touches.
They do.
In the game. Like they're going to get the most touches out of any player on that field.
Right.
And I feel like
they're gonna know they'll know the offensive playbook just as much, or if not a little bit. I don't want to say more, but they'll know it just enough as what the quarterback knows.
Yep.
Because if you think about it, the quarterback, put it like this, in basketball terms, if we were to somewhat make this a basketball reference, the quarterback is point guard, or actually, yeah, quarterback is like point, and the running back is like shooting guard, or you could vice versa them.
Oh yeah. I just feel like with the running back thing, it's like, I know the game changes. I know the style changes. It's more of a pass first.
It's more of a passing league now, yeah.
And you look back in the day where you had guys like Barry Sanders,
and you had
Eddie George, what's my
Jerome
man?
Bettis, Terrell Davis,
yes, LT. You had who else? We go down the line, like who else?
Fred Taylor.
Taylor. Then you had what's my man? Shady.
Eddie McCoy.
Then you had Westbrook. Who else? Like it was like more running backs. And I mean, as a kid, I want to be a running back. If I could have played football, I would have wanted to be a running back.
Bro, same thing here. Like the quarterbacks, like I said, like I stated earlier, quarterbacks are important to any team that wants to push the needle to become a contender. What is the number one position when it comes to the draft that people are like, if we get this guy, oh, he's going to turn the entire franchise around?
Running back. Running back.
The quarterback.
Quarter.
The quarterback.
I mean,
the quarterback, like a lot of, okay, put it like this.
I mean,
in 2019, Cincinnati had the first overall pick. Joe Burrow.
You're right.
2018, first overall pick was Baker Mayfield. Literally all 5 quarterbacks that were literally considered to be top 15, top 5, number 1 overall considerations were all taken in the first round. Baker went first. Sam Darnold went third. I believe Josh Allen, he went about like 8th or 9th to the Bills. Josh Rosen, 10th overall to Arizona. And Lamar Jackson, number 32 in the first round to Baltimore.
Damn.
All 5 of them went first round. And they were all perceived to be the guy that was going to change the franchises that they went to. Now,
they did. They kind of did. Especially, I got to get to the Bills. Josh Allen.
I was about to get to that. Now, frankly, Rosen flamed out.
What happened to him?
He got replaced after a year. Remember, he went from being the guy that said, you know, there was 10 mistakes above me. I'm gonna prove them all wrong or whatever.
Right.
And his rookie year was not that great.
Who did he play for again?
Arizona.
Oh yeah, he got Kyler Murray. They got
Kyler Murray the year after, and Kyler Murray took over.
And they complaining about him. But go ahead.
And then you had Sam Darnold, who was somewhat decent. You could pretty much put a caveat on his name and pretty much say like the coaching, the system, yada yada yada. They move on from him. They trade him off to Carolina, and now he's in San Francisco, battling it out with Brock Purdy, who just got cleared, and Trey Lance to see who's going to be QB1.
Right.
You got a 3-way battle to see who's QB1. You got Baker Mayfield right now, who was in Cleveland for 4 years, led the Browns to their first ever playoff in 2020, led them to their first ever playoff win, and nearly beat the Chiefs in the divisional round. And then the following year after, he gets injured. And then from there, it's just like, they move on from him. They go to Deshaun Watson. He gets shipped off to Carolina. Carolina, not the best spot for him. He gets released. He gets picked up by LA, has that amazing Thursday night game, finishes last season off in LA, and then he gets picked up by Tampa on a 1-year tender. And now him and Kyle Trask are doing a quarterback battle, which, if you really want to look at it, I believe Baker Mayfield is projected to win that battle, but they're going to make it a battle. They're saying that anyone can get it, but from right now, it looks like Baker could be the guy. And with Coach Canales coming all the way from Seattle, kind of with the same West Coast offense style that he was playing with in LA through Sean McVay, Baker could have a comeback player of the year-esque season, but that's to be decided. That's to be seen. So as of right now, as you see, like I said, you got 3 guys that are no longer with the teams that drafted them. Rosen's gone. Rosen's gone. He's no longer with them. I think he's like maybe on the practice squad on some other team. Damn. He's practice squad. The last time I saw Josh Rosen was like 2 years ago in a preseason game versus Cleveland.
He said, "My man on a practice squad. How you
first round pick to a practice squad, bro?" Then you got
Sam Darnold. Grace.
Sam Darnold again in San Francisco, pretty much battling it out to see who's going to be quarterback 1 or QB2. And then Baker Mayfield is in a battle in Tampa to see who's going to be quarterback 1 after Tom Brady retired.
Yeah.
The only 2 guys as of right now that are on their team that drafted them up to this point and have pretty much proven that that's the franchise guy is Josh Allen for the Bills and Lamar Jackson for the Ravens. Now, Lamar Jackson, his situation was weird. The whole contract situation on his side was like, both sides were it was weird. That was a weird situation, but he eventually got paid. So, he's extended.
Yep.
Justin Herbert just got extended. Daniel Jones of New York. This is where I'm going to lead into. Daniel Jones gets extended a 4-year deal after one successful season. He's been in the league for about 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
He has one good year under Brian Dable, and they extend him to a 4-year deal. Wow, you got Saquon Barkley, who was on a contract year, and they opted to go with Daniel Jones, and they were going to franchise tag Saquon Barkley. He was not going to sign the franchise tag. He was going to hold out, and it was actually just yesterday or like the day before that Barkley signed a 1-year deal worth up to $11 million. He gets a $2 million signing bonus. But here's the kicker. Here's the kicker about that deal. It does not.
Okay, before you go to that, people, I've been seeing a lot of people saying like he got screwed.
In a sense, he did, because the deal he signed comes with a non-franchise tag tender, which means after this season, the team could franchise tag him again. See, Saquon could have could have held out. He could have held out, could have been like, you know what? You guys think you have it all figured out. Well, I'm going to show you what it's like without me being on the roster. I'm going to show you what it's like to not have me on the field. And I don't know who posted the statistics. I know I saw these statistics one day about Saquon Barkley and what Daniel Jones his stats look like without him versus what it is with him. And the statistics is telling, to say the least.
Right.
They're telling, to say the least. But basically, it's like with Saquon Barkley on the field, Daniel Jones has a 48 to 16 touchdown to interception ratio. 48 touchdowns to 16 interceptions. That's pretty good, right?
Yep.
Without Saquon, it's like 16 or 17 touchdowns to like 20 something interceptions.
Sheesh. Without him?
Without him. Without Saquon, Daniel Jones does not perform as well as if he was to have Saquon on the field. And this is not the only one. This is not the only one.
Right.
The quarterback, the running back out of Indianapolis.
Oh, what's his name?
Yeah, Jim Irsay actually had to say about this.
I know you're talking about. I'm familiar who you're talking about. Yeah.
Let me see. I actually just read it a few seconds ago.
And while you do that, I'll send you something.
Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So Jonathan Taylor is on a contract year. He's still waiting for his extension. But this is what Jim Irsay had to say about the running back situation. And I quote, "The NFL running back situation. We have negotiated a CBA that took years of effort and hard work and compromise in good faith by both sides. To say now that a specific player category wants another negotiation after the fact is inappropriate. Some agents are selling bad faith."
Right.
But here's the situation. Here's the situation. Matter of fact, Jonathan Taylor's agent actually tweeted Jim Irsay's tweet and said, "Bad faith is not paying your top offensive player."
Say that again. I gotta lean in on this. Say that again.
Jonathan Taylor's agent tweeted what Jim Irsay said about the CBA and said, "Bad faith is not paying your top offensive player." And there were multiple running backs that were in on this conversation.
Okay, I want to ask this question.
Okay.
Do you think the Ezekiel Elliott situation burned a lot of these agents, a lot of these higher up? Because remember, I was like, I was coming, me and my mom was coming back from, I forget where we was coming from, but we was in a lift going to the mall, and she was like, I talked to a Cowboy fan, like I had my hat on, he looked at me, we started ribbing each other, and everything, like, yo, I said, he's a man, Zeke, that as a Cowboy, a lot of Cowboy fans were saying Zeke was overpaid. Like he shouldn't have got that much money. He got 90 million, and he had I think he had 80 something or 50 something guaranteed. Mm-hmm. It was the biggest deal. Everybody was like, what the moment.
It was a WTF moment. Yeah.
And we talked about that when it happened. Like we was on the phone talking about it. And right. I'm sitting back I feel looking back at that now, I think when he crushed the market with that deal, a lot of agents, a lot of people, I'm thinking you're expendable. We can get another running back in the draft. There's so many running backs that's coming out. You off of a rookie deal. Then when we paid you, look how you played.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they kind of yo, we paid Saquon. If we pay these running backs this amount, what happens if they don't continue to play up to par? And I get it. It's kind of I get it on one end, but I also get it as yo, I want my money. I gave you this many yards. I got this many touchdowns. Now, I get if, say, the Eagles would have won the Super Bowl. And I get if Miles Sanders would have said, yo, I've been with y'all for this many years. I helped y'all win the Super Bowl. We won the Super Bowl together. I want this amount.
Right.
I like, look, bro, we can't get you here, but we can get you here. So what you want to do? Now I want this. Okay, we're going to have to let you go. We can't have you. We can't be breaking the bank for you, man. We don't know what the deal is with you. We ain't going to know.
Matter of fact, I'm going to jump off that. I'm going to jump off of that for a second because Cincinnati, we got a running back that we have to pay in Joe Mixon.
Right.
And surprisingly enough, Joe Mixon, he actually restructured his contract to stay with the team.
What do you say?
Joe Mixon actually restructured his deal.
And that's a good move. Like, I feel like
he restructured his deal so that, when it comes to Joe Burrow's contract situation, they'll be able to pay him plus a little bit more.
And I feel like when players do stuff like that, and like they say, what's the name of the podcast that Kelsey and his brother got?
New Heights.
New Heights. They say, yo, it don't matter if you got the same team. It's always a new year the next year. Like, it's not the same. Like, it's always different. So that even if you have all your players back, it's going to be a different team. It's like, oh, you got to start from scratch. But I feel like you got to pay these people. If you believe you can run it back, which I believe my team can run it back, he believes his team can run it back. If you feel like your team can run it back, you're going to take the necessary steps to at least get the key pieces taken care of. And I feel like with the running back situation, I feel like, okay, if I'm a player, what if they say, what if it goes back to a run heavy league again? Now you're not paying the wide receivers and your tight ends. Oh, I could get a running back out of Wisconsin who's a dual threat running back. He can run and catch. Why do I need to pay CeeDee Lamb or Jamar Chase or AJ Brown or Travis Kelce this money when I can get a running back that can do the same thing he can do?
Right.
But I think you cheated. I think the running back market should be respected. And I know it's like, all right, we can get another one either if free agency, but if you but they always say the lifespan of a running back in NFL is not that long.
Right.
Tearing your legs. You've been running since you was running since college, so got to keep the legs fresh. But like,
right. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. When it comes to the running backs in that entire situation, again, the running back position is your second most, or if not one of the most important positions in football, right next to your quarterback. Right?
Right.
Offensive side. If you have a top-tier talent at running back, and you know what the production is on the field offensively with him versus what it is without him on the field,
yeah,
you know that it heavily impacts how your team operates and how your team moves, then I would be more than pressed, or more than, my ideals would be like to pay him.
You would have to, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would. Now, here's the situation.
Talk to me.
In my eyes. And you kind of said this already, to where like, and actually, I want to jump back on something real quick.
Okay.
I kind of want to jump back. You asked me if the deal with Zeke, if that's what kind of like made this whole entire ordeal the way the whole thing that it is, right?
Yeah.
Think about it with the whole Deshaun Watson situation, the quarterback situation, right?
Okay.
So Deshaun Watson he's officially on the market again after everything happened with his alleged sexual assault situation, right?
Right.
Courts don't have enough evidence to convict him of anything, and they let him go. So
Right.
teams are starting to court Deshaun Watson. They're coming up with different trade packages because the agreement was for Deshaun to get traded, or for teams to even consider, be considered to even talk to Deshaun personally. They had to come up with a trade package to they had to present a trade package to the Houston Texans.
Right.
And based on that trade package, they would be allowed. Several teams came with a trade package, and Houston said, okay. Cleveland was one of them. Out of the blue. Cleveland came out the blue, and they came up with a trade package. They brought it up to Houston, and Houston was like, hey, we like it. You guys can go ahead and talk to him. And so they talked to Deshaun, go over all the details, yada, yada, right? Cleveland was one of the final three teams to be considered. It was the Falcons, it was the Panthers, it was the Browns.
Right.
Browns were told no by Deshaun Watson. So it was between the Falcons, and it was between the Falcons and the Panthers. And the reason I know about this story, the reason I know how the details played out, is because I was working at Home Depot at the warehouse, and there are several people over there that were Falcon fans, and I was giving them updates about what the team was doing and how they were moving, because this was a big deal for them. This was a huge deal. They were like, yo, we get Deshaun Watson, we gonna be like, yo, we could be something. And I'm like, bro, y'all could be on your way, because from what I'm reading and from what I'm hearing, Deshaun Watson might be coming your way. Like, y'all are looking at bringing in Leonard Fournette, and y'all are looking at bringing in Jarvis Landry. Like, they were looking to bring in weapons for Deshaun.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, I read that Deshaun Watson chooses Cleveland out of nowhere.
I wonder why he chose Cleveland.
Because this is what happened. When Cleveland was told no by Deshaun Watson, they were going to make the move back to Texas, to Lake Travis, to speak with Baker Mayfield and basically try to convince him to come back to the team. And the thing is, Baker found out about the entire situation online, like everybody else.
Yep.
He wasn't even a no.
Hmm.
So he felt slighted. So when Jimmy Haslam tried to, call Baker and say, hey, look, bro, like we, can we come talk to you for a minute? Baker's like, no, don't come. Matter of fact, you don't need to come this way at all. Matter of fact, what you should do, go ahead and trade me. I don't want to be here no more.
Right.
The team basically said no to that trade request, right? So now Deshaun says no. Baker says F off. What do? They turned around, went back to Deshaun, and they fully guaranteed him $230 million on a 5-year deal.
How many million?
230 mil, fully guaranteed. That's why Deshaun went to Cleveland.
230 mil.
He was the highest paid quarterback. He was the highest paid quarterback out of last year.
Out of all teams.
Out of all teams, he was the highest paid. It was fully guaranteed. And what Cleveland did was they knew that Deshaun was going to get suspended, so they flipped his deal to where, like, for as long as he was going to be suspended, whether it was going to be the full year or whatever, the most he was going to lose out on was $1 million.
Sheesh.
So the reason why I'm bringing up this entire deal up is because if you looked at the situation with Lamar Jackson, it was because of Deshaun Watson's $230 million guaranteed deal. A lot of teams didn't want to shell out that money. There was reports saying that they were pissed at the Browns management. They were pissed at the ownership for even going that far, for overpaying Deshaun Watson. So that's why you had the situation with Lamar Jackson in his contract situation, because it's like, well, damn, if Cleveland paid Deshaun Watson $230 million, our guys are going to want to go above that.
Yep.
In the years, and this past year, you've seen Jalen Hurts get paid about 250, and then you got guys get paid 250. Justin Herbert just got paid 265 for
And
a
a
5
lot of and a lot of my Eagle fans like, yo, they glad that Jalen got paid before Herbert because Jalen set the tone, and now everything else you got to top him.
And guess what?
What's up?
A lot of teams, including my Cincinnati Bengals, were pretty much in a waiting game. They were trying to see who's going to get paid next and how much it was going to be, and then they were going to levy out their contract situation based on who got paid what.
Right.
So in my eyes, I truly believe like what's going on with the running back room and their deals and their contract situations. I believe the Zeke deal, that $90 million deal that Ezekiel Elliott got from Dallas, I believe that might have set the tone as well. But here's another factor. That matter of fact, Robert Griffin III pointed out.
RG3, we got to get him on the show. We got to get him on the show.
Oh yeah, like I love the way
we can get him on the show. That'd be epic for us, man.
That'd be amazing. But RG3 brought something up, and listening to it, I was like, dude, that makes total sense. Like that's a gem right there.
Right.
RG3 basically said, when it comes to running backs, when they're drafted, depending on where they are drafted at, like let's say you get a first round running back, they have pretty much 4 years that they're under contract. They're under control of that team. And then there's a 5th year option if the team wants to pick it up.
Right.
Now, the thing is, though, within that 4-year, 5-year deal, that 4-year, 5-year, if they pick up the 5th and they go into their 6-year deal, that 6th deal, that contract deal or whatever, that contract year.
Yeah.
A lot of these teams that are looking at these running backs that are going to be free agents, they're going to see a lot of mileage. And here's the thing. If you're playing running back in the NFL, you've probably played that position all throughout college, maybe in high school. So your body has taken a beating over the years. And now you get to a point where like you're 4 years, 5 years into the league, you're about to hit free agency. A lot of teams are going to be looking at you and they're going to be maybe considering bringing you on because like, yeah, you produced well. And like, you may have rushed for 1,000 yards 3 times straight. And you may have over, 20 touchdowns, 30 touchdowns here and there. And like, you majorly producing, like you're that guy. But in the eyes of the ownership, in the eyes of the GM, that 4-year, 5-year time span that you've spent playing in the league, that's like, do I really want to pick up a pre-owned guy? It's easier to pick up a guy in the draft who's a 2nd round, 3rd round guy and have him produce a lot better and then have him under your control and like not go for a guy who's like 5-6 years in, but who's proven that he can produce. But, the money is going to be an issue. That's the situation. RG3 brought this up and he was like, look, what the CBA, what the NFLPA and the Players Association, what the NFLPA, the Players Association should do, they should go to the committee and they should like agree, negotiate a brand new CBA to where like this not only benefits the running backs, but it benefits players all throughout the league.
Right.
Make it to where like within year 3, players are eligible to hit free agency so that they're able to, get the bag sooner.
Right.
But like Jim Irsay pointed out, like we've already talked about, the CBA, we've come around in good faith and yada yada, but this is all just these are all just like separate players in bad faith and whatnot. But the thing is though, like that would be nice. And you would have to have like a lot of guys get involved in this conversation. Like you would need guys like Austin Eckler, Dalvin Cook, Ed McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Saquon, maybe Nick Chubb. You would need like top tier, top name guys, and maybe a few quarterbacks as well. Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow, and maybe a Lamar Jackson. Get guys that are reputable, that have that superstar that tone to their name, that kind of have that weight to their name already, and be like, look, like what we see what's going on, and we know it's not fair.
Right.
How we kind of like switch it up a bit to where like everybody can get the bag, but and it not, it not affect everybody, moving on down the road. Because again, everybody's gonna want to eat. Everybody's gonna want to get that piece of the pie.
Right.
It's just the situations that play out, financially, and for these teams, and how the organization looks at certain keys and certain players. It's gonna it sucks, because there are guys out there that really put their weight out there, that really put their heart and their soul, and they really put their body on the line, and really want to put the team in the best position to win, but they're not being shown the appreciation for what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm just like, when I look at it, like, I don't be understanding is when I look at them, like, just pay the people the money. Like, what are you? I get the fact that I've been a running back all the way, because normally when you start playing football, if you start playing in junior high, like, if you're serious about it, you may be a running back, maybe a quarterback. Oh, he played running back in junior high. Then when you get to high school, then they'll call it, no, I want you to play this position. Then, no, I want to move you to defense, because my cousin who plays for Hawaii, shout out to my cousin Berto Edwards, he played offense when he was a kid. Then he switched to defense when he got older. So it's like he's played both sides of the ball. Like, he played on the offense and defense. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's different when you've been playing a position. I've been a running back since high school. You know how much wear and tear is probably on that boy's legs if you've been running back.
And that's where I was going along with that. A lot of organizations, a lot of like GMs, a lot of people will look into that and be like, look, like this guy's probably played running back for a long time. He's probably played this position for a while, not just in the league, but like probably in college, because they got tape on him, but probably in high school as well. So a lot of these guys are looking at these players and they're like, all the wear and tear plus the years of them put in the league already is like, is it even worth it to pay these guys the money they're asking for? I mean, we could go into the draft and find somebody, like a Mr. Irrelevant, and make
Mr. Irrelevant.
Huh?
Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy.
I mean, that's what a lot of these GMs are probably thinking, but it's like, there are guys in this league right now, and I named a couple of them: Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler is another one that had a contract situation. He wanted to get traded, but he ended up staying and signing a 1-year tender to stay with the team because it was the best option available for him.
Yep.
Like, if he said, like, him signing a 1-year deal was the best available option, because the running back position, like, was not getting a look at. Like, that says something. That says something to me.
My question is, before we switch gears, what would have to be the, not breaking point, what would you have to prove if you didn't give a team all that? Like, you didn't give your team everything out. I done gave it everything to this team, but you don't want to pay me? Like, what more do a person have to give to a team? Like, you know what?
I don't think you got to give anything at all. To me, like I said it on social media, and I'll say it again.
Which he's very proactive on Twitter. Like, Izzy plays no games, he plays no games.
I'm gonna say this about Saquon Barkley signing that 1-year, $11 million, non-franchise tag deal or whatever.
Right.
I'm Saquon. After this year, I don't care. I'm walking. Like, I'm a free agent now. They want to franchise tag me. I'm not signing it. Like, I'm walking. I'm a free agent. And like, if they try to tag me, I'm sitting out. Because, like, again, the numbers don't lie.
Nope.
Your numbers don't lie. Daniel Jones is 48-16. He has a 48 touchdown, 16 interception ratio when Saquon is on the field versus a 17 and 22, 20 something touchdown to interception ratio when he's off the field.
That's sad. That's
bro. If I'm the